Hello, welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. I'm so excited you're here today. Today we are diving into something really special. There's going to be so much coming through. I've got the team of light on board. We're going to talk about 5 keys in this awakening journey. I know so many of you, so many of us collectively are experiencing this right now, and it's so important that we are. Lately in my energy, it's been this feeling of like, we need to awaken the world. Like, come on, everybody, let's go, let's do this. I know you're going through an awakening process and it's special, it's hard, it feels like a washing machine, like you're being thrown around everywhere, but I've got your back. We're going to talk about this in this episode because it is a soul transformation as well as a human transformation that's going on. So it's more than just shifting your mindset. It's more than just manifesting stuff. It's a profound cycle. It's a death and rebirth. It's a refinement. It's a process that invites you to step into who you're truly meant to be. But because it's this washing machine of all the things, it really isn't easy and it can be uncomfortable, like beyond uncomfortable. And sometimes we can be sitting there going, what the heck is going on? Or this can't be right. This can't be me doing it right. It feels so uncomfortable. Things are breaking down or stuff's changing. And so I've got your back. And we're going to break it down in a way that you really understand even more clearly the sacred aspect of this, what's going on a soul level, what life is calling you to do, to focus on. And so I'm also going to talk about that, some tangible things you can do, kind of what to focus on in this time. So grab whatever beverage of choice. Maybe you need some water, some tea, some matcha. Grab whatever you're going to grab. Let's settle in, get comfy, and let's dive into this episode. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm so excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life. My name is Talia Joy, and I am committed to showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to go on a magical journey of spiritual and self-growth to manifest the life you're meant for, we are now besties. Let's dive in. All right. Welcome back. I am so excited to dive in because, as I said, we're talking about the secrets of awakening, the powerful transformation that's going on. It's happening on a human level and a soul level. And we're going to talk about these 5 keys that are kind of just essential. And it's about understanding what's going on. And just like everything in life, when you gain a new perspective, when you become more aware of like a bigger level or just something you didn't totally understand, it leads to empowerment. It leads to opening up to a whole new level of tools and shifts and all sorts of things. So I'm really excited to talk about this. Lately, just between me and you, before we get into the keys, I've been having this feeling. It's like a burning feeling in my soul or in my heart, or it's hard to place where it is, but like we all need to awaken. And I'm just going to kind of go off on like a mini rant for a second. The world right now, like Earth in general, it's mainly got a lot of teenager souls on it. So teenager 20s, maybe even early 20s type souls that are like a quarter through their life kind of thing, which is why there's a lot of ego, a lot of combat, a lot of power, money, dominating, who's better than who, comparison, protection, like we're all kind of against each other. The way that all of this has happened, and so many of the souls on earth are still actually quite young. However, there's this wave of not definitively starting at a certain year, but around like 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond, there started being older and older souls. There's a lot of older souls being born right now. You are such a valuable part of what we need in the world going forward. And just the other day, I was on a walk and I realized that this does have to do with the episode, not just a random tangent. But I realized that I have this grudge against like humans. Like it's mostly within myself. It's not like I actually hate on people, but I just sometimes get frustrated at how one-dimensional, it feels like, but really three-dimensional, like humans are. And we just need to wake the fuck up. We need to come back to the earth. We need to realize we're deliberate creators. We realize intuition's real, realize that we're here for something bigger, because it just feels like humans themselves, I get sometimes discouraged. Like, can we really pull this off so we don't like kill off ourselves, you know? Like, can we really do this? So on my walk, what I realized is that I've thought that like this evolution of humans is like slow. So I get frustrated and I'm like, oh my God, we need to like wake up and connect back in with ourselves and become one again and all this stuff. But what I also realized, what my spirit team showed me, was like things can happen really quickly when the group narrative changes. And we saw that Wayne Dyer used this example of like smoking cigarettes. It went from being like the coolest thing ever to like, you're an idiot if you smoke. And I'm not personally saying that. It's just this global understanding of like, oh, how dare you, right? And that shifted quite quickly, like over a decade. The global awareness or understanding or whatever changed. The narrative changed. Look at COVID. People were forced inside and then like rivers were running clear and fish were back in the ocean and all this shit in like 10 days. Like actually, the world can change very quickly. So you and I need to continue on our awakening journey to understand what's going on, to understand that you were born in a very specific time on purpose. There's a wave of people awakening. Whether you've been doing this for 25, 30 years or you're brand new to this journey, you're sucked in now. You're in the river of awakening. And we got to keep going. We got to keep doing this because more sparks, more like lights. It's like I see things intuitively. It's like I see us as fireworks, like turning on, popping on all over the world. And we have to continue to do this work because we all need to like grow up as a collective, right? We need to start doing things different. We need to be more loving and heart-based rather than fighting and ego-based, and that shit's getting old. So I'm all for having wealth and abundance, but we can go about things a different way than just greed and power. So rant coming to an end, but this is also why what is going on within you is so important to what is going on within all of us. And as we awaken, the metaphor of, say, a parent, they literally teach their child different. It's who you are being in the world rubs off on people, inspires people. The people you work with, the family members you have, your friends, your animals, everyone around you in your community as you're walking your dog or as you're out and about, or as Canadians say, out and about. Okay. As you're out and about, like you're going to be impacting others by who you're being. So when you awaken, you light the spark of people around you without even realizing it. Who you are to the grocery store, people, or who you are to the dentist, or who you are to your family, your cousins, whatever, it shifts. You impact people. So as we dive in today, I want you to remember that what you're going through is really important. Yes, it is the path to your manifestations. Yes, it is the path to fulfillment and purpose alignment. And you were placed on earth, like you're alive, you're listening to this right now. So spiritually, I'm calling you out. You're here in the light. You're here to be part of the light. So continue to be brave and keep going on your journey. I'm so proud of you. Okay. I didn't plan on getting into that, but the why behind this is so important. So let's dive into the first key. The first key is understanding that awakening is a death and rebirth cycle. So awakening itself is the process of something old turning into something new. And awakening, as I said in the intro, isn't just about changing your thoughts or adopting a few new habits. It's a deeper transformation from the quote unquote old you to the quote unquote new you. It's all you. We're not changing you into anything else. We're actually making you the most aligned with your true self, with your true essence, with your true spark. So in transformation, even in healing and all this stuff, I don't believe we're ever trying to actually change you. We're deprogramming the things that don't work, restoring your natural magnetism, passion, talents, self-worthiness. That's all we're doing. But in that, it is a death and rebirth. It's a deep transformation. And it comes with processes of shedding, of dismantling, of letting go. Old branches need to fall off. Vegetation has to rot in order for the new soil to come back. So the universe calls us to let go of patterns, belief, and sometimes shit is burned to the ground. Things are ripped from us, taken from us. Reality smacks us in the face with like a golf cleat for real. That is part of the death and rebirth. And there's this broader understanding of like your soul and your spirit team and this universe, this earth, or this life, whatever, knows what you are meant for. So it sees what's going on right now and what isn't aligned with where you're going and what is maybe holding you stuck in an old resonance, in an old pattern, and that will be asked to go. It'll first be nudged with intuitive little nudges and like, oh yeah, I know I shouldn't do this, but, right? And then pretty soon it becomes more and more that you can't deny it. And maybe that job that you feel like is sucking your soul, you might just get fired one day. And I'm not saying that. You can knock on wood right now. I'm not hexing you. I'm just saying that life has a funny way of making you move when we have been hesitant to move. And just like the phoenix rises from the ashes, it is a death and a rebirth. It is a rebirth, and it's not, again, it's more of a restoring. The old layers burn away so you can rise stronger, more authentic, more powerful, and that power comes from inside. Your connection to your soul, your connection to the earth, your connection to life and vitality and creativity and pleasure and joy. And you emerge more focused with more clarity of who you truly are. So this transformation journey is a death and rebirth cycle. And just to throw in some extra cosmic fun, it's not just one death and rebirth, it's 7 million, but truly in all areas of your life. And some take longer than others, and some things happen, easier or more difficult. So if your health, if your habits are out of line with what you say you want, you may get nudges, you may get things, and then you might have like a slow, gut issue, or you're getting headaches and you get that nudge of like, maybe it's the blah, blah, blah I'm eating, or maybe it's because of this thing. And so maybe you're going through a health death and rebirth where you're letting go of old cycles, you're letting go of old habits and refilling them with more healthy ones. That could be a 2-year process, a 10-year process, a 25-year process, right? Or maybe other things are happening quicker where you are, in your business or something's happening and it's just not working. And you got to go, okay, let's trim the fat, get rid of stuff. We're pivoting, we're moving on. It means things dying off, things being recycled back into the process, habits that got to go, beliefs that aren't serving you anymore, ways of being. Sometimes, yes, it's people. Relationships crumble. And I can't tell you how many times with clients, they have like lifelong best friends or long-term relationships that crumble, and friendships that they thought would continue evolving that just don't, because you're just not aligned anymore. And I don't think you have to get rid of people. I'm just saying in this time, it's surprising sometimes what falls off. You may feel like you want to move away from somewhere you've always lived, or you want to sell all your stuff and go nomad for a bit. Like, this is the death and rebirth cycle. So whether it's your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your physical stuff, it's good to embrace it. So one physical thing you can do just at any time in the awakening, and I'm sure you've already been called to do this, is to declutter, is to physically get rid of stuff and continue asking, where can I let go? Where can I let go? And sometimes it's deeper stuff. And sometimes it's like all of those things you don't use. It's time to let go. It's time to purge. So thinking about your awakening journey as not just a 1-step, 2-step, 3-step, and I'm there. It's an ongoing death and rebirth. And in some ways, this comes into the next key, but in some ways, the better you get at starting to see when things are out of alignment, right? I know you practice this. It's like you start to notice sooner. You start to go like, okay, when I eat that thing, my gut doesn't feel good. Or I notice when I'm around these people, I feel anxious. Or when I watch too much crime, I feel anxiety. Or when I drink caffeine, I feel, it's like starting to notice when you're off, starting to notice at habits and tendencies that are asking to be released, the better you get at this, which does take time, the faster things can happen or the more smooth things can happen. It never guarantees a smooth ride. It's just not a smooth ride. Life is hard, right? There's ups and downs, but thinking of it as more of a cycle than a linear path. Okay, key 2 is recognizing the assignments. So this is what I'm talking about. When we start to recognize that discomfort, triggers, things that go on in our life that are frustrating, that we don't want, that we tend to kind of resist or react to, these things are assignments. And there's self-growth assignments, which basically every assignment is a self-growth assignment, but there are also soul assignments. And some can be both. It's not even, you don't even have to know what's what. But we have specific soul assignments that we came here to learn. So these are ongoing challenges, looping patterns. Basically, if I was to say, what's the biggest lessons of your life? Things like self-love or healing abandonment, healing betrayal, learning to show up for myself, learning to trust, having faith. These types of things are soul assignments. And it's your soul calling you into this bigger expression of who you are. But again, it comes with an assignment. Other things are opportunities or mini assignments. Like for me, when I'm in a time when I'm in line or I'm stuck in traffic, I go like, okay, I can practice patience. So instead of freaking out and being like, oh my God, I'm going to be late, I go, okay, what can I practice here? And say I'm on my way to an appointment. I could stop and be like, I'm just going to call the dentist and tell them I'm in traffic just to alleviate that stress. There's an assignment here. How can I handle this with integrity and like keep my cool even when shit is hitting the fan? So I'm not always perfect. You're not always going to be perfect. It's totally fine. But looking at life like that, and if assignment doesn't work for you, totally just like look at it as something else, a practice, an opportunity. I just like to say, I accept the assignment. That to me gives me mojo to be like, okay, I can do this. But then the bigger things, the challenges that you're facing are not necessarily just in your way. They're specific lessons that your soul came here to learn. And that's a huge part of what I do with clients is I can see that deeper lesson. And you can see it too for yourself by looking at these challenges, these ongoing things that seem to come up, the places we self-sabotage, these types of things. And instead of seeing obstacles, or even maybe you're doing a venture and it just doesn't work or something, not seeing these obstacles as something that is just wrong and you're broken, or we avoid them or whatever, we can ask ourselves, like, what is this here to teach me, right? And I'm sure you do that, but what is this here to teach me? And on a deeper level with the soul assignments, you're going to be asking, what is this being called to heal? Like, what am I being called to heal? What am I being called to, again, death and rebirth, right? What am I being called to release? What am I being called to alchemize and recycle back into the cosmos because I don't want to hold on to it anymore? And these are deeper assignments. And in an awakening, this stuff is going to come up. That's why I'm saying this. Like, it will come up. Because they are here to help you heal, grow, and live into your full potential. Live into and experience the transformation, the personal transformation that you're here for. They're going to help you to evolve into the person that you're meant to become. And the universe, this life, on behalf of your soul, is always presenting you with the exact lessons you need to step into your next season. Like, we always are presented with the opportunities and the assignments that we need for our upcoming chunk of time. It's just that we don't learn to see them like that. So it feels like I'm stuck or things are breaking down or nothing's working, but it's an assignment to actually pivot you. Roadblocks are detours in the right direction. They're here to pivot you into the right direction because it's like, you're so close, let's just do a little bit of a left, right? Or just adjacent to this is the solution. So we need to look at things as assignments or as opportunities, or like, what is this here to teach me? and not as, oh my God, I suck. And this happens with entrepreneurs. This has definitely happened in my business. I'll see entrepreneur clients where something they're selling like stops selling or something isn't working. And they may feel like, oh, it's this, I need to give up, I need to stop. And it's like, no, there's useful information here. Like you're still legit, valid, have amazing, epic stuff. Let's figure out though where the universe is kind of guiding us to go. Something's not working, but it's not that it's wrong and bad. We just need a pivot, right? So a reflection to yourself is, where are you being called to heal, to move through, to alchemize? How can you embrace and look at the things that are going on as like, what is this teaching me? And how can you look at the detours the roadblocks as detours? Where is life detouring me? What is being shown to me? Right? And sometimes we need deeper help. Sometimes we might want to read books or take courses or work with a mentor or something to help us see these things, but the answers are definitely within you. Okay, key number 3. Your desires are meant for you. I love talking about this. The third key. This is so good. What you want is meant for you. Rumi says, what you seek is seeking you. Your desires are not random or selfish or even materialistic. They are divine. They're aligned with your soul's purpose, and they are literally what you're meant to experience. So walk with me here, see if this resonates. Before we come into this human experience this time, our soul has an intention for us for what we're here to learn, our soul assignments, and it's packaged in a way. So ultimately it's what we're here to learn. But then we also have like, it would be really fun to do these things, or it would be really fun to like live in the fullest expression of what I am. So your soul has learned things up until this lifetime, and you came in with like, okay, I'm here to learn how to truly love myself or whatever. And I'm here to like maybe with a mission to help, with your gift of music or gift of teaching or gift of, your empathy or whatever it is that you're passionate about. And we have certain things that are kind of predispositioned. So your desires, like when you say, I want financial freedom, or I'd love to have a beach house, or I want to travel the world, these desires are put in your mind to lead you to that fullest expression. Like they're fully on purpose, which is why if 40 people were in a room, 40 of them would have different exact desires. Even 2 people wanting to go to the same island in the Bahamas for a vacation would have 2 different ideal vacations. That's because your desires are meant for you. They are breadcrumbs taking you along in your journey. They are showing you the path to your highest potential. So as you go toward the abundance, again, the awakening process, you'll be asked to like maybe face your money beliefs or your money habits, or, you'll grow through some things, but it's because that desire is actually refining you. It's helping you. It's making you better. It's making you more secure and feel like a deliberate creator. So your desires are truly meant for you. They're part of your highest expression. And in some ways, as long as we are moving toward our desires, we are always on the right path. As long as you're on your path of growth and self-healing exploration, no matter how fast or slow or what modalities or whatever, it's all about coming back into who you truly are. So the key number 3 is that your desires are meant for you. They are in your mind as a glimpse into the future, into what your soul has in store for you, into what is already in your blueprint. And the awakening process, the self-growth, is literally the journey of you aligning with those things energetically, physically, emotionally, all the things. So key 4 is about surrender and understanding that we need to surrender to the process of change. And as we go through our awakening journey, it's so important to surrender. I say to myself, it's actually been since like my 20s. People used to say it around me. I don't know why. Roll with it, T. I've had most people in my life have called me T from way back in my personal life. But it would be like, roll with it, T. And I have this ability to roll with it. But now as I go through deeper and deeper awakening, and also more and more like putting myself out there and success and these different things, I have to always remember to surrender to the process of change. When something is calling me to shift, and it's happened many, many times, I'm learning so deeply and practicing to trust in that process. So for example, I was vegan for like 5 years. And then all of a sudden, different subtle changes showed me that I needed to shift that a little bit. And then I shifted into a different style of eating. And I've gone around not diet to diet in no way, but it's calling. My body calls me and I surrender to that. I go through seasons where I'm all about like nut butters and seeds and like, more fat and fiber and whatever. And then I find that I'm eating lighter and more fruit. And I allow myself to surrender to what my body wants and needs. So this is the same with all of life. And sometimes things change. Well, all the time things change. And we need to be able to adapt to how life is changing. If you have kids, you watch them grow, that wildly changes what they need of you. Or in a relationship, when you're in a friendship or a romantic relationship, over time, that relationship changes. And that's a good thing. Everything changes. And so sometimes we feel like we're swimming up current, or we're doing the same things that used to work. They don't work anymore. They're not working for where you're headed. There's also a lot of energy in the cosmos right now about that, about what got you here won't get you there. You're being asked to surrender to the process of change even more. So when we resist a natural flow, we resist life. And abundance is a flow. Well-being, health, vitality, joy, it's a flow. And your soul is guiding you to trust in the process a little bit more when things are shifting and changing. And it's not easy. We have to anchor in. That's why it's a good idea to like have some you time, have a practice, meditate, move through it, get support, because change is hard. But surrender doesn't always mean giving up. It means letting go of control and not gripping to how things were. It helps too if you can try to trust that life is working in your favor and that roadblocks are detours. So there's times in my business where I've had something. I remember in my earlier days, it happened all the time where I'd have something and it'd feel really good for a bit and then it wouldn't feel good, or I felt like it was feeling sticky. And so I'm like, no, I'm being guided to change. I can't be like, well, no, but I had this idea and I'm just going to hit it harder and hit it harder. Even within one idea, you'll be asked to micro shift, right? So your body gets used to the same foods. Your body gets used to the same activities. So sometimes we need to shift it up. And in life, things are going to change. And in the awakening process, life is dismantling things. So when you get used to and practice surrendering to change, this is the most powerful place you can be, because spiritually, my team of light wants to share that spiritually, this is when we are open to the guidance. This is when we are open to the redirection. But when we go, no, I've got this, I'm going this way, Spirit's like, I've literally been trying to send you intuitive nudges for 5 years. Like, come on, don't make them get bigger. And we're like, no, but I want to go this way. But the more we get good at being a student of life, a student of flow, and we trust when things seem to be changing, when life seems to be rearranging the pieces, let it. And it's hard, but I want to say, like, if the pieces want to fall, let them fall. Is that a song or something? So ask yourself, where am I resisting change? How can you lean into surrender? And the last key we're going to talk about today is that awakening is the process of you becoming a deliberate creator in your life. It's, again, stripping away what you are not. The voices, the people, the societies that told you couldn't, that told you that people like you can't do that stuff, and the trauma, the stuff you've been through that has taught you that life isn't safe, you can't trust things. Rightly so. That's why this is also a healing journey. But this whole experience is the refinement of you becoming the deliberate creator of your life. This is awakening your essence to manifest. You are no longer a passive participant in your life, watching things go by, watching things happen to you. You are now the creator. This is the process you're in. And I've said many times, what you focus on expands. The more clarity you have on what you want, the more you release the dominant reactions, the wounds, all that stuff. We move through them over time. This is what's, been holding us back from that next level. And the more we release and refine and drop and shed and walk away and have boundaries and shift and change, the more the universe guides us, the more we truly step into what we desire, the deliberate creator of more joy, more love, more abundance, more connection, more freedom. Because being a deliberate creator isn't jamming things into a box. It's not controlling every detail. It's aligning your energy and your desires with life and living in flow and being in alignment with those things. So being the health you want to see, feeling the joy in your heart, becoming the deliberate creator of your reality. This is where your power lies. So the process of awakening is also the process of awakening the fact that you are a deliberate creator and that this universe, this life is working in your favor. And I know there's been hard lessons, and that doesn't even sum it up. And I want to give you credit and give you acknowledgement and give you a hug and give you a bow about that. And your era is here. It is time. Feel it. It is time to become the deliberate creator of your life. You are so worth it. And a reflection is you can ask yourself, what does that mean to be the deliberate creator of the joy you want, of the peace you want, of the health you want? Where can I actively, in micro actions, start shaping my reality? Start becoming more of the change I want to see? Because that's what the awakening process is asking you to do. So as we wrap this up, the 5 keys were that number 1, it's a death and rebirth cycle. That's a whole thing on its own. Number 2 is recognizing that there are assignments going on, asking you to grow, heal, soul assignments. Number 3 is realizing that your desires are meant for you. And this awakening process is awakening you to that and awakening you to what you truly want, what's truly meant for you. Key 4 was to surrender to the process of change, that as you go through this washing machine or refinement process, to try your best to surrender when things are changing and breaking down and shifting. They are reorganizing and rebuilding up into something better. And key number 5 is that this process is helping you to become the deliberate creator of your life, reminding you that you are the one. You are the one that gets to create the joy, the health, the healing, the safety, the abundance, the ease, all of it in your own life. So the last thing I just want to end on as a little oomph is that this journey, when we say soul awakening, the soul knows of the pure potential of this whole experience and what this is. And the soul knows it's been on multiple journeys and all the things it's learned and all this stuff, where it originated, all that. But we come into this human lifetime, and I think some people call it human amnesia or whatever, where we are purposefully we forget all of that stuff so that we can fully land as a human and figure it all out. And as we figure that all out, again, we basically figure out what we used to know and we remember. That's why I always say remembering that you're the deliberate creator. When we remember how this all works, that is the process of awakening. You're remembering to more of what this experience is. So your soul is growing, but it's also that the human is remembering more of what the soul is. Because the human's been I'm just humaning. I'm this person born on this day, daughter to this, son to this. This is my history. This is my childhood. And then all of a sudden we get blown open of wait, what? I'm a soul on a journey. And some of us have done this together before. And what is all of this? That is the process of awakening. So it's like the soul is remembering more of itself. The human is remembering more of the soul. We're becoming more in touch with the malleable nature of reality and how we're here to learn things and how we're here to make an impact and how we truly are here to grow and evolve. It's not just a hope you have to get better. It's a deep soul yearning to be the fullest expression of what you came here to be because you can. From a soul perspective, you can. That is a possibility in this lifetime. And you don't have to. There's no shame. Nobody hates you in heaven. There's no spirit teams that are judging you if you don't in this lifetime. And that for me gives me a big exhale of like, oh, like I don't have to. And then I settle into that and I ground. I'm like, oh. And then I go, but I want to. And then I get this like, okay, let's do it, right? Let's do this transformation. Let's do this big journey of awakening. So wherever you are in this, I see you, I hear you. I hope you feel less alone. If you want to come join the party after on Instagram, I would love to have you at Talia Joy Manifestation. And if you've been called to work together to deepen this journey of awakening, to manifest, to get in line with those soul assignments and understand it all more, you want to work one-on-one, I have a couple spots in the fall, which is an amazing time to do one-on-one work. And I've got some really exciting stuff coming up. But right now I've got some really powerful mentorship options. If you want to work together in the fall, you can just reach out. I'll give you all the deets. We'll see if we're a match to work together. And if you're not quite ready for one-on-one, but you want more than just the podcast, I would highly recommend On the Path. It is my other podcast, a private podcast where we break down weekly assignments, tangible tools. We make the self-growth process tangible. I'm telling you exactly what I recommend you do, giving you the tools, giving you the meditations, the journal prompts, and there's also an entire methodology like training, basically a course. So whether you're looking for a transformation course to move through, weekly assignments, monthly challenges, meditations, all that, and you want to make the work, you want to implement it in your life, I invite you over to On the Path. The link is below in the show notes. It's just a monthly subscription, so it's $27 a month, and you can also go at any time. All right. You can check the show notes for any of these things that I talked about. And namaste, friend. Kudos to you on the journey. I'll see you in the next episode. Hey Seeker, thank you so much for listening to this episode today. I truly hope that it served you and helped you on your manifestation journey. So if you're ready to really learn how manifestation works so that you can have the freedom to create whatever you want, I invite you to On the Path. It's a private podcast community that will help you to manifest your goals and stay on the path to your most fulfilling life and your highest timeline. This is where I guide you through transformation step by step, helping you to cultivate devotion to yourself, master your energy, do the inner work needed to release resistance, and manifest a life that lights you up. We both know that you're ready, that you're evolving, that you're transforming, that you're ready to quantum leap, and I am ready to offer you the tools and the education you need to move forward. So come and join me on the path. The link is in the show notes below.